Motorcycling is full of advice, rules, and traditions. But not all of them are written down in the manual. Some are passed from rider to rider, whispered in training classes, or learned the hard way out on the road. These are the kinds of secrets that separate casual riders from those who really understand how to keep their bikes safe, sharp, and money smart. The problem is, most people never hear about them. You can spend years riding, and no mechanic or dealership will ever mention half of these tricks. But once you know them, they completely change the way you approach safety, maintenance, and even your everyday ride. In this video, we're revealing 15 secret motorcycle rules no one talks about. These aren't myths or urban legends. They're practical techniques and hidden guidelines that experienced riders quietly follow. Some could save you serious money, others could save you from a crash, and all of them will make you a smarter, more confident rider. Stick around, because the last few on this list are the kind of secrets that even veteran bikers wish they had learned earlier. Secret number 15, headlight modulators, legal visibility trick. Here's a secret most riders have never even heard of. Your headlight doesn't have to be static. In many countries, including the US, a special device called a headlight modulator is completely legal on motorcycles. What it does is pulse your headlight during the daytime, making you far more noticeable in traffic without actually blinding anyone. Instead of just blending in with all the cars running daytime running lights, your bike instantly stands out. Car drivers who normally wouldn't see you in their mirrors are much more likely to notice a pulsing light. And here's the kicker. Modulators are specifically permitted under federal law in the United States, UT FMVSS 108, as long as they meet the technical requirements. That means if a police officer pulls you over, you can point to the regulation that says it's legal. The secret here is that modulators give you an edge in traffic that even loud pipes can't. Instead of relying on sound that projects behind you, you're using visibility that projects forward. It's a small modification, usually easy to install, and one that can make a massive difference in whether drivers actually register your presence. Few riders use them, but the ones who do swear by the safety boost. Secret number 14, the rain rule. Wait, then ride the wheel tracks. Most riders know rain is slippery, but here's the part nobody tells you. The first few minutes of rainfall are the most dangerous. That's when water mixes with oil, dust, and rubber particles on the road surface, creating a film slicker than ice. After about 10 to 15 minutes of steady rain, much of that residue gets washed away, and traction improves. So the secret is patience. If possible, wait out those opening minutes before you ride. If you're already on the road when it starts, there's another trick. Use the wheel tracks left by cars. Those strips are where the water has been displaced, giving your tires a drier and grippier line. Another hidden danger? Intersections. Cars leak fluids while idling, which means the dead center of lanes at stoplights is often coated with oil. In the rain, avoid stopping there if you can. Stay slightly to the left or right of center. Smooth inputs also matter. Gentle throttle, steady braking, and slower lean angles. Riding in the rain isn't about being fearless. It's about being smart. Riders who know this rule glide through storms while others struggle for traction. Secret number 13, the SE strategy. Search, evaluate, execute. One of the smartest rules most riders never talk about doesn't come from the streets. It comes from rider training programs. It's called the SEE strategy, and it's the foundation of safe riding. C stands for search, evaluate, execute. The idea is simple. Always be actively scanning your surroundings, not just looking straight ahead. That means searching mirrors, blind spots, intersections, and even crosswalks for possible hazards. Next, you evaluate, what's the potential risk? Is that driver about to turn left in front of you? Is that parked car's door about to swing open? Finally, you execute a decision. That might be easing off the throttle, shifting lane position, or even covering your brakes. What makes C so powerful is that it turns riding into a proactive habit instead of a reactive scramble. Instead of being surprised by hazards, you've already considered them and made space for an escape. It doesn't take extra effort once you practice. It just becomes second nature. Here's the secret. The best riders aren't the fastest or flashiest. They're the ones who use SEE every second they're on the road. It's invisible to others, but it's the rule that keeps you upright when things go wrong. Secret number 12, lane position is dynamic, not fixed. Ask a group of riders where you should sit in a lane, and you'll hear all kinds of rules. Some swear the center is best. Others insist you should always hug the left track for visibility. The real secret? There is no single perfect lane position. It's dynamic, and the best riders constantly adjust based on conditions. If you're riding behind traffic, shifting to the left or right track can make you more visible in a driver's mirrors. On wide open highways, the center lane position can work fine, as long as the pavement is clean. At night, moving slightly left might help you avoid glare from headlights behind you. And in heavy traffic, sliding to one side can open up an escape route if someone brakes suddenly. The key isn't memorizing one correct spot. It's using the lane as a tool. Ask yourself, which position gives me the clearest view ahead, the best chance to be seen, and the most options if something goes wrong? That's the right place for that moment. The secret is flexibility. Riders who lock themselves into one track are missing out on the real advantage of a motorcycle, the freedom to adapt instantly. Secret number 11, the 2-4-12 rule. There's a little-known rule that smart riders quietly follow every time they hit the road. It's called the 2-4-12 rule, and it's all about managing space and time. Here's how it works. 2 seconds is your minimum following distance in normal conditions. That gap gives you enough time to react if the car in front suddenly brakes. On wet or slippery roads, stretch it even further. 4 seconds is the immediate escape path. You should always know what you'd do if something happened within 4 seconds ahead, whether it's a swerve, a lane change, or a controlled stop. 12 seconds is your long-range vision. Keep scanning at least 12 seconds ahead of where you are now. That way, you're not reacting to problems as they happen. You're predicting them before they reach you. Most riders never think beyond the bumper in front of them. The 2-4-12 rule forces you to see the bigger picture and always have options. It doesn't matter if you're commuting through the city or carving mountain roads. Space and vision are your 2 best defenses. This simple formula quietly turns average riders into confident, calculated ones. Secret number 10, counter-steering on purpose. Here's a fact that surprises a lot of newer riders. Every time you've taken a corner at speed, you've already been counter-steering, even if you didn't realize it. The secret isn't doing it, it's doing it deliberately. Counter-steering works like this. To turn left, you actually push forward on the left handlebar. That momentary input tips the bike into lean, and the lean carries you through the turn. Push right to go right, push left to go left. Simple, but incredibly powerful once you practice it consciously. Why does it matter? In emergency situations, knowing how to counter-steer on demand can save you. If a car drifts into your lane, you won't have time to think about leaning your body. You need instant, precise steering. A firm press on the bar moves the whole bike now, not later. The secret is practice. Find an empty parking lot or a quiet stretch of road and rehearse counter-steering until it's second nature. That way, when the moment comes, you don't freeze. You just push and go. Many riders go years without understanding why their bike turns. Knowing the rule makes you sharper, smoother, and far safer. Secret number 9, maximum braking equals both brakes eyes up. Ask 10 riders about emergency braking, and you'll hear 10 different answers. Some insist the rear brake is safer, others swear by the front only. The real secret is balance. Both brakes used correctly, with your eyes up. Here's why. The front brake provides the majority of stopping power, often more than 70%, because as the bike slows, weight transfers forward, pressing that tire into the pavement. But grab it too suddenly, and you risk locking the front wheel. The rear brake, meanwhile, adds stability and a bit of extra stopping force, though it's more prone to skidding. Used together with progressive pressure, they give you the shortest and safest stop. The eyes up part is crucial. When riders panic, they stare at the ground or the bumper ahead, and their body stiffens. Instead, keep your head high, look where you want to stop, and let your arms and legs follow your vision. This isn't something to only read about. It needs practice. Find an empty lot and rehearse controlled stops at different speeds. When the real emergency comes, muscle memory will take over. The riders who know this rule don't just brake harder, they brake smarter. Secret number 8, ABS is more than a luxury. A lot of riders still think of ABS as something for beginners, or worse, as an unnecessary feature that takes away real control. The truth? ABS, anti-lock braking systems, is one of the most important safety upgrades motorcycles have ever seen. Here's the reality. When you slam on the brakes, especially in the rain or on uneven pavement, it's easy to lock a wheel. Once that happens, you lose traction instantly, and recovery is tough even for skilled riders. ABS prevents that by rapidly pulsing the brakes when it senses lockup, letting you keep steering control while slowing down hard. Studies back it up. Research by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety shows motorcycles equipped with ABS are significantly less likely to be involved in fatal crashes compared to those without it. It's not about replacing skill. It's about adding a safety net for the moments when panic or conditions work against you. The secret is this: even seasoned riders benefit from ABS because nobody can predict every hazard. Gravel in a corner, sudden rain, or a car cutting you off. ABS gives you a fighting chance when milliseconds matter. It's not luxury, it's survival. Secret number 7, TCLOCS, the 2-minute pre-ride check. Most riders throw on their helmet, hit the starter, and roll out. But experienced riders know there's a secret ritual that can save you from breakdowns and even accidents. The TCLOCS pre-ride check. It's an acronym that covers everything you should glance over before riding. T, tires and wheels. Look for cracks, nails, or low tread. Tap the pressure with a gauge. C, controls. Check levers, throttle, and cables for smooth operation. L, lights and electrics. Test headlights, brake lights, and turn signals. O, oil and fluids. Quick look at levels for oil, coolant, and brake fluid. C, chassis. Scan for loose bolts, chain slack, or leaks. S, stands. Make sure side and center stands move freely and retract fully. It sounds like a lot, but in practice it takes about 2 minutes. And those 2 minutes can reveal a flat tire, a burned out bulb, or a loose chain before it becomes a problem at 60 miles per hour. The secret isn't just checking your bike when something feels off. It's building this quick routine into every ride. It keeps your machine reliable, your wallet safe from surprise repairs, and your mind focused on the road instead of what might go wrong. Secret number 6, fuel facts. Octane isn't magic. Walk into any gas station and you'll see riders paying extra for premium fuel, convinced it makes their bike faster, cleaner, or more powerful. The truth: unless your owner's manual specifically calls for high-octane fuel, you're just burning money. Octane doesn't equal horsepower. What octane really measures is a fuel's resistance to knock, premature detonation inside the engine. High-compression sport bikes and certain performance machines do need premium to run safely. But if your bike is designed for 87 or 89, filling it with 91 or 93 won't suddenly unleash hidden performance. In fact, Your engine won't even take advantage of it. It just costs more at the pump. Some riders swear they feel the difference, but that's usually placebo. What actually affects power is proper maintenance, clean air filters, good tires, and smooth throttle control, not the number printed on the pump. The secret rule here is simple. Follow your manual. Use the octane rating your manufacturer recommends, nothing more. If you go lower, you risk knocking and damage. If you go higher, you waste cash without benefit. Don't let the gas station upsell you into thinking premium fuel is a magic performance booster. Secret number 5. Know your ethanol. Avoid E15. At first glance, gas is gas. You pull up to the pump, swipe your card, and ride away. But there's a hidden detail in the fuel labels that can quietly damage your motorcycle if you're not careful. Ethanol content. Most modern bikes are approved for fuel containing up to 10% ethanol. E10. Go beyond that, and you're asking for trouble. In the US, more stations are offering E15, 15% ethanol, usually marketed as a cheaper option. While cars built for it can handle the mix, motorcycles generally can't. Extra ethanol pulls in moisture, eats at rubber hoses and seals, and can cause your bike to run leaner and hotter. Over time, that means hard starts, clogged injectors, or even major fuel system repairs. The tricky part is that E15 pumps often look almost identical to standard ones, and sometimes they even share hoses. If you're not paying attention, it's easy to miss fuel. That's why the real secret is, read the pump labels every single time. Stick with E10 or lower unless your manual explicitly says otherwise. That few cents saved on a tank of E15 won't matter when you're staring down a 4-figure repair bill. Secret number 4. Tire pressure and tire age matter more than tread. Most riders glance at their tires, see decent tread depth, and think they're good to go. But the real secrets to tire safety and performance are pressure and age. Start with pressure. Motorcycle tires are far more sensitive than car tires. A few PSI too low, and your handling gets sluggish while your tire runs hotter than it should. Too high, and the contact patch shrinks, reducing grip. That's why it's important to check pressure cold at least once a week, and always adjust for passengers or heavy loads. Then there's age. Even if the tread looks healthy, rubber hardens over time. After about 5 years, tires begin to lose flexibility and grip. Past 10 years, they should be replaced no matter how new they appear. You can check this by reading the 4-digit DOT code stamped on the sidewall. It tells you the week and year of manufacture. The truth is, plenty of crashes happen on tires that look fine, but were either underinflated or too old to perform properly. Don't rely on tread depth alone. The real rule is, keep your tires young, properly inflated, and they'll keep you safe. Secret number 3. Signal slowdowns and stay in gear at stops. Picture this. You're rolling up to a red light, engine braking smoothly, barely touching your brakes. To you, it feels controlled, but to the driver behind you, it looks like you're not slowing at all until they're right on top of you. That's why experienced riders use a secret trick. They flash their brake light even when engine braking. Just a quick tap on the lever lets following drivers know you're slowing down, buying you precious space. But that's only half the secret. Once you're stopped, never sit in neutral with your hands off the controls. Always stay in first gear, clutch in, eyes glued to your mirrors. Why? Because rear-end collisions at stoplights are one of the most common accidents for motorcyclists. If the car barreling up behind you isn't stopping, being in gear means you have an escape route. A quick dart to the shoulder or between lanes can save your life. It's such a simple habit, but it makes all the difference. Signal your slowdowns, keep the bike ready to move, and treat every stoplight like a defensive position. Most riders don't bother, but those who do rarely get caught off guard. Secret number 2. Slow speed mastery. Friction zone plus rear brake. Every rider wants to look smooth, carving through corners at speed. But the real test of skill isn't fast riding, it's slow riding. Parking lots, U-turns, tight traffic. That's where bikes suddenly feel heavy and awkward. The secret most pros know is a technique built on 3 parts: friction zone, steady throttle, and a touch of rear brake. The friction zone is the sweet spot where your clutch is partially engaged. Combine that with a little steady throttle, and your bike gets a controlled, stable drive without jerking. Add in light pressure on the rear brake, and you dampen the bike's tendency to wobble. Suddenly, low-speed maneuvers become fluid instead of shaky. This trick isn't just for show. Mastering it means you can pull U-turns confidently, handle tight parking garages, and creep through traffic without dabbing your feet. It also makes you calmer, because you're no longer fighting the bike at walking speed. Like any secret, it's all about practice. Find an empty lot, set up a few cones, and rehearse until your clutch hand and right foot work in harmony. Riders who know this technique look effortless, and they save themselves embarrassing drops and costly repairs. Secret number 1, be seen, not just heard. You've probably heard the old saying, loud pipes save lives. It's one of the most repeated lines in motorcycle culture. But here's the reality. Noise projects behind you, not in front, which is where the real danger usually comes from. If you want to be safer on the road, the real secret isn't being louder, it's being more visible. High visibility jackets, reflective accents on your gear, and bright or white helmets drastically increase the odds that drivers will notice you. Studies have shown riders in light-colored gear are significantly less likely to be hit by a car. Even something as simple as adding reflective tape to your panniers or boots makes you pop in headlights at night. It doesn't mean you have to look like a traffic cone. You can choose subtle, reflective striping or stylish gear that blends safety with design. Pair that with keeping your headlight on during the day and smart lane positioning, and you'll stand out in traffic without annoying everyone around you. The secret is simple but powerful. Visibility saves more lives than volume ever will. Invest in being seen, and you'll ride with confidence, knowing you've tilted the odds in your favor. And there you have it. 15 motorcycle secrets that most riders never hear about. But once you know them, they completely change how you ride. None of these are flashy gimmicks or overhyped mods. They're the small habits, overlooked rules, and hidden tricks that quietly keep riders safer, smoother, and a lot less broke. The best part? You don't need years of trial and error to discover them. You can start applying these rules on your very next ride. Flash your brake light before engine braking. Check your tire pressures cold. Practice your friction zone control in a parking lot. These little adjustments add up, and over time, they're what separate confident, seasoned riders from the ones still guessing. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these secrets did you already know, and which one surprised you the most? Drop your answer in the comments. Your insight might be the tip another rider needed to hear. If you enjoyed this countdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more no-nonsense motorcycle content, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next video. Ride safe, ride smart, and remember, the best riders are the ones who never stop learning.